Welcome to the ASCM Supply Chain Maturity Assessment, our free score-based self-assessment designed to help organizations large and small focus their supply chain improvement efforts. The Maturity Assessment provides a top-level view of supply chain maturity across the 7 major process areas in the SCORE model: plan, source, order, transform, fulfill, return, and orchestrate. The assessment is completed at a supply chain level, and the scope is the end-to-end supply chain. The assessment is conducted using the Qualtrics online survey forum. It starts with a series of demographics questions, followed by the self-assessment of 27 key focus areas that are mapped back to the SCORE model. If a single individual is completing the assessment, we estimate that it will take about 2 hours. It is often desirable to have a small group take the assessment together to provide a consensus view across disciplines. A group-facilitated assessment may take half a day or longer. Once the assessment is complete and submitted online, a results outbrief is generated. The formal output briefing will generally occur about 2 weeks after completion of the assessment and will include a view of supply chain maturity across the SCORE process areas, a view of less mature focus areas, and a detailed view of potential next steps for each area. A standard 1 through 5 scale is utilized in this assessment. This scale corresponds to the scale utilized in the ASCM, CSCP, and CTSC courseware. Levels 1 through 5 are defined individually for each process area, and the definitions focus on the key pillars of the SCORE model: process, performance, practices, and people. Thus, you will see language in the level descriptions focused on process governance, metrics usage, best practices usage, and continuous improvement, as well as skill management. Here is a view of all 27 focus areas in the maturity assessment. Note that there is a heavy emphasis on orchestrate, as nearly half the items on the assessment are orchestrate processes. This is by design, as previous analyses have shown that even when core processes are strong, supply chains fail to deliver results without strong orchestration processes. The assessment is completed at a supply chain level. While a company may have multiple supply chains, it is important that we properly scope the assessment to a single supply chain in order to compare apples to apples, as process maturity may look different for different supply chains within the same company. It is certainly possible to do multiple assessments for different supply chains within a company. Here is an example of an actual assessment question. All questions follow the same general format. For each item, a maturity level description is provided with the intention that you will be able to quickly find where your supply chain fits. In the below example, we focus in on the area of S&OP. And the question here is, which of the following best describes the S&OP process in your supply chain? The various outputs from the assessment are shown here. The outputs focus on maturity across SCORE process areas, as well as highlighting least mature and most mature processes, along with providing potential next steps. The output briefing is generally provided 2 weeks after completion of the maturity assessment. In order to make this assessment as valuable as possible, it is important to have the correct scope. Some things to consider when scoping the assessment include: which supply chain segment would you like to assess? Who should be involved in the assessment? And what is the best forum to complete the assessment? Typically, we will have a scoping meeting prior to the beginning of an actual assessment. That scoping meeting is meant to ensure that we are ready to start the assessment. Upon the completion of the scoping meeting, a link will be provided so you can start your assessment.